Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for me to welcome you back to yet another episode of our Wigan Athletic Road to Glory here on FIFA 16 career mode. Today we are moving into the transfer window. Unfortunately I won't be able to do anything that you guys have said in the comments section because, as I explained in the last episode of this Road to Glory, I'm having to pre-record stuff before going away. So unfortunately I can't, I'll have already recorded and commentated this video before I've even loaded the last one, which is a bit of a shame. But we are into January, but of course we're playing some games as well. As I explained last time as well, we don't exactly have all that much money to spend, so we probably won't be doing anything anyway. But for now, Kemar Roof is the man to watch out for because he's got 3 goals in his last 3 matches as we go into this game against Watford in the Barclays Premier League. Been struggling with results recently. A lot of last-minute goals going in against us in Sims and in played games as well. There you can see the squad in the background. Mikel Dooland is back after his injury, of course. Roof and Gray decided as the strike partnership. Rico Henry also into the side for Reece James. We're going to get the first chance of the game here. Kapuska finding Kemar Roof, and we have scored already. Kemar Roof with the first chance of the game after 23 minutes. A wonderful assist from Bartosz Kapuska. The wonderful through ball, the left-footed shot from Kemar Roof. Kostel Pantilimon in the Watford goal will feel like he certainly could have done better, but it is 1-0 thanks to Kemar Roof, who now has 4 in 4. Watford going forward there with the half volley save from Lafont. Carnihan and Lascelles getting themselves in a mix-up, and it goes out for a corner. The resultant corner is going to be swung in there by Suarez in the half-an-hour mark. Lascelles heads away. It's headed back into the danger zone. The shot there from the Watford defender, Hoban, and it's deflected in. And it's off Dominic Iorfa. A ridiculous deflection. The shot was going miles wide. It's going to be an own goal for the right back. Lafont gets an arm to it but can't keep it out. Completely outfoxed by the massive deflection. Watford back on level terms just 8 minutes after going behind. Iorfa though trying to make amends. He's bursting into the area. He's got Kemar Roof for support. It's saved by Pantilimon, but right at the feet of Bartosz Kapuska, who is there to slam the ball home from about half a yard out and restore our lead. What a crazy game this has been. 3 goals in the space of 12 minutes. We score again 6 minutes after the last goal. Again, Pantilimon will probably feel as if he could have done better, but Kapuska is there to smash the ball home after 39 minutes. Now into the second half, Watford going forward on the hour mark. Lovely passing play. Juan from there been found on the edge of the area. Doolan's brought him down, and it's a penalty, but it looked as if the Danish winger got a touch on the ball. That seems like a very harsh penalty to me, and suddenly Watford have got a chance to get back in this. There's hardly been any chances in this game that haven't resulted in goals. Miguel Leun will step up. Lafont will be tasked with trying to save it as the stutter, but Leun scores. Lafont goes the right way, but the penalty is converted and Watford are level for a second time in this game. A massive deflection and a pretty fortuitous penalty allows Watford to get back into this game. Lafont, as I said, going the right way, but maybe the stutter from Leun outfoxing him. 2 goals in the Premier League for the fullback. We are, though, going to try and go forward. Andre Gray skipping past the challenge, and Pantilimon with the save, or more letting the ball hit him more than actually functionally trying to go for a save, but it is a save nonetheless. Into injury time, we're still pushing for this winner to make it 3-2. It's Andre Gray again trying to make some space, getting into the area, and a better save this time from Pantilimon to yet again deny Andre Gray and keep the scoreline level. And at the end of the game, it does end 2-2 after the chances there in the final 10 minutes. But apart from that, the game was pretty quiet actually, despite the scoreline, but pretty even as well. I think a draw is probably the fair result. Kapuska with man of the match after that wonderful assist, and of course the goal as well with an 8.5 rating. Some pretty good ratings as well for Keita, Lascelles and a few others, but a shame to only get a draw there. Yet another draw in recent times. Been better news in training. We've got Bartosz Kapuska after a fantastic performance there against Watford. He is up and overall to 78 from 77. Oil Chan is very close to 78 as well, and Andre Gray is very close to going up to 77. So growth all over the board in terms of the starting 11 players. We're not dipping into the transfer window yet. We're going into the second game of today's episode first of all, and that is at the Etihad Stadium. Doesn't exactly get any easier against the best defensive team in the league in Manchester City. Here is the squad. As you can see, Reece James is back into the side to replace Rico Henry, but apart from that, the squad is basically the same. Roof and Gray again up top. Oil Chan and Dooland again the wingers of choice, with Ihan and Lascelles as the centre-backs. Dooland has won the ball back in a very dangerous position though, and he's found Kemar Roof bursting through the centre. Can Kemar Roof score yet again? Yes, he can! Kemar Roof has got 5 in 5 as the ex-Oxford striker, and he scored again in the Barclays Premier League, this time against Man City, after just 10 minutes of this game, blasting the ball over Willy Caballero there in the 11th minute. 5 in 5. He's only got 5 in the BPL in total, and he scored all of them in the last 5 games. Well, Man City trying to go forward there. Fernando with a shot there, a volley right at the end of the half, well saved by Alban Lafont. The resulting corner is going to be swung in by Fabian Delph. Lafont's going for it, he's missed it, it's Fernando again, and it's off the crossbar this time, and that is half time, and somehow we survive with a 1-0 lead there intact, despite Lafont trying his hardest to concede there by missing the ball from the corner. We are going forward again. It's Mikel Dooland. He's found Reece James, the left back, but on his weak foot, he's never going to score from there. And unfortunately, slices the ball wide just 3 minutes after half time. Very quiet game from then, but into injury time. City trying to push forward. It's Fernando who's found Sterling, who's found Otamendi, and once again we have been denied the full 3 points by an injury time goal. It's a bit of a weird one. I wouldn't see that happening in real life. But Otamendi scoring the goal in off the post. It's 1-1. And regrettably, we are denied a massive win away from home against Manchester City. What a result that would have been. But unfortunately, it is not to be. A pretty even game, and again, a draw probably deserved. It's just a shame in the way in which it happened. Lafont, Roof and Doolan getting good ratings, but Doolan was the man who got man of the match. In the background, you can see 5 players returning from loan. 4 of them are Youth Academy graduates, but one of them is John Sutar, who's back from his loan against Brighton. You may therefore see him in action a few times before the end of this season. The defensive mid who we signed from Dundee United did a pretty good job in League One, but then said he wanted more football and has ended up on loan since then. But he's now back in the back in the squad, shall we say, and hopefully he'll be back near the squad very, very soon. Time for some more training though. In the background, you can see Andre Gray, Oyul-Chan Kapuska, and a few others are still being trained, and still Andre Gray unable to get near that 77, but Oyul-Chan edging closer to that magical 78 overall that Kapuska has already managed to get to. Now there is time for the first sim game of today's episode, and it's a BPL game yet again. This time it is at home against Swansea, not exactly the biggest club in terms of sort of BPL football, I guess, in comparison to like Man City, obviously. So we're going to be simming this one. You can see in the background the scoreline, still 0-0 after the first 25 minutes. Some goals elsewhere, Everton, Chelsea and Southampton scoring in the early stages of their game, but at half-time, or games even, but at half-time it is 0-0, but Bartosz Kapuska has actually given us the lead in the 51st minute. Hopefully we can hold on to that and try and get a win this episode. That would be lovely. Can we hold on? No, we can't, because yet again, it is another late goal. Gylfi Sigurdsson from the penalty spot, 3 minutes from time, gives Swansea the 1 point and the draw, and yet again we are denied in the last minute. The amount of points we would have had we not conceded last minute goals is probably quite astounding this season. Obviously we have got a few late goals ourselves, but yeah, certainly a lot conceded. In the background you can see that I'm trying to ask the board for some more money. This venture was unsuccessful in the first transfer window, but we're trying our hand again this time, and actually the board are willing to be less stingy than they were in the summer transfer window, and they're willing to give us £6.2 million purely in return for finishing mid-table, which is where we are at the moment. We're, I think, 8th in the league at this point in time. So we're going to go ahead and accept that offer. So £6.2 million into the transfer kitty. Hopefully we can use that on a player, although the squad overall is pretty good. I don't think there's many places that we particularly need to strengthen. Perhaps a new striker just to create some more competition up front. But now it's time for the second sim game of today's episode, and it's an FA Cup tie at home against a lower league Bradford. Dominic Iorfa and Andre Gray have given us a 2-goal lead in the first half, and Andre Gray's made it 3 just 4 minutes after half time. So he's got a brace. Kemar Roof has now scored as well to make it somewhat of a mauling for, I think, League 1/League 2 Bradford, and the game ends 4-0, that being a third round FA Cup tie. So we're now into the fourth round of the FA Cup. You'll see that cup tie probably some point during February when we get out of the transfer window. But finally, some transfer stuff happening. We've got a bid here for Tim Chow, someone who hasn't really featured all that much since League 1 particularly. It's funny, there's been certain players that featured so heavily and were so influential in League 1, like Max Power, Michael Jacobs, Will Grigg obviously but just haven't made the transition in quality in terms of the BPL, even though they could probably do that job in real life. But on this game, I can't get them into matches. Will Grigg, the reason why Will Grigg hasn't played recently is because whenever he plays, he can't get into the match because he just, I don't know, he just doesn't have the ability on the game, regrettably. But Charlton accepting our £1.2 million counter offer, for Tim Chow, so he's off for £1.2 million. He will be sold. We're going to use that to try and get, as I sort of mentioned previously, a striker to provide some competition for Kemar Roofe and Andre Gray, because at the moment, you know, they're playing pretty well, but maybe they'll step it up even more if there's some competition, because they at the moment know that Will Grigg and Ademola Lookman perhaps aren't going to get into the squad. We've looked at quite a few strikers, made some inquiries. We've looked at Timo Werner, Callum Wilson, Andrea Bellotti, John Guidetti, and also Vincent Janssen of AZ Alkmaar. We didn't make an inquiry for Vincent Janssen because we already had his value because we attempted to sign him in the summer. So we're going to go ahead and make a £5.4 million bid for the Dutchman from Eredivisie side AZ Alkmaar. His evaluation was £8 million, and we only have £5.8 million in the kitty after the budget allocation changes. So that deal is probably not going to happen. It might be too expensive. Same for Timo Werner, who's playing for Red Bull Leipzig at this point in the career mode, even though he plays for Stuttgart in real life. We make a £5.2 million bid for him. If that's rejected, then the reality is we'll probably have to end our interest in that player, because we're not going to be able to afford him. Callum Wilson, Bournemouth only wanted £6.5 million, so we should be able to afford him, but we're putting a £4.5 million bid in at first. John Guidetti as well as Celta Vigo, the ex-Manchester City striker from Sweden. We're also going to make a £4.5 million bid for him as well. He's on 25k in wages, and we're going to go ahead and send that off. But as you can see in the background, AZ Alkmaar and everyone else actually rejecting our initial offers. So that's basically going to end our interest in Timo Werner and Vincent Janssen, because we can't particularly afford to bump that offer too much. But we can make some second offers for Callum Wilson and, of course, John Guidetti as well. So we're now going to make a £5 million bid for Callum Wilson. Now, this would actually be quite a realistic transfer, because at this point in the career, Bournemouth are actually in the Championship. So Callum Wilson hopefully is bossing it in the Championship, and his performances in the Championship are hopefully going to reward him with a place in the BPL. But obviously he's competing against John Guidetti of Celta Vigo, the ex-Manchester City striker, for that position in our squad. That second bid of £5 million is accepted by both Bournemouth and Celta Vigo, which is screaming at them both being the same overall if the teams are going to accept offers that are exactly the same. So we're going to go ahead and make some contract offers now for Callum Wilson and John Guidetti, offering slightly more for John Guidetti because he initially rejected a contract offer, in favour of wanting some more money. We'll have to see how that goes after the final game of today's episode. Now, I do warn you, unfortunately I had some issues with gameplay in this one, so the quality is horrendous, to be honest with you. It's more like sort of 360p in comparison to HD. It could have been worse. I almost lost this footage completely because my computer was being an utter mong. But thankfully I managed to salvage it through various means. As you can see though in the background, here is the squad that we're going to be playing. Philip Volden is the main change. He's the main inclusion. Naby Keita's been not really massively influential recently, so Philip Volden, the Youth Academy graduate, is into the side. We are going to get the first chance of the game though here. Andre Gray bursting from the halfway line into the box, but the block there, and a crucial one from Ryan Bertrand. Again, I do apologise for the lack of quality when it comes to definition for this game. But Mikel Doolan, they're going for the strike as well from long distance, but a save. An easy one in the end for the West Brom goalkeeper there in the 36th minute. After a very, very quiet first 85 minutes of this game, West Brom are trying to go forward, but it's been such a quiet game. Kapuska, though, has won the ball back, and he's found Philip Volden, the defensive mid, in for Naby Keita. A wonder ball towards Kemar Roofe. Can Kemar Roofe score again? Yes, he can. In the 89th minute, Kemar Roofe has surely gifted us a win, and finally, we get the points thanks to a late winner. Finally, or thanks to a late goal, an incredible assist from Philip Volden, the young Swede from the Youth Academy. He's a defensive mid, he shouldn't even be that good at passing, but incredible assist. West Brom, though, going forward right at the end of the game. The shot blocked from Sessegnon, it's fallen to Brunt, and with the final kick of the game, it flashes past the post. Alban Lafont wasn't even moving. Thankfully it goes wide. I would have cried if that had gone in. But thankfully that late goal from Kemar Roofe is enough to win us the game. 7.5 rating for Roofe, 7.5 for Volden, still cannot get over how incredible that assist was. Really good rating as well for Mikel Dooland, but man of the match was Alban Lafont there with an 8. Now it is time to make our decision when it comes to a striker. Again, I apologise I can't do a straw poll, but I'm having to get videos done in advance, and I just wouldn't be able to know what the result of the vote was by the time I record the next episode. John Guidetti and Callum Wilson, though, are the choices. We're going to go with Callum Wilson in the end, because I looked at John Guidetti's stats, and he didn't particularly have anything that stood out, whereas Callum Wilson's finishing is 82, and he's got pretty damn good pace, agility, and dribbling as well. So we're going to go ahead and get Callum Wilson here, the Bournemouth striker, for £5 million to add yet another mixed race striker to our squad. I mean, it wasn't relevant really. I don't know why I said it. I'm mixed race as well, but I mean, it wasn't really relevant. But I mean, it is a trend. You've got to admit it's a trend in the squad. That's Andre Gray, Callum Wilson, and Kemar Roof now as our strikers. And Callum Wilson is going to provide a lot of competition for Kemar Roof and Andre Gray for them to step up their game even more. Kemar Roof, who has about 6 goals in 7 games recently, he's been in fantastic form. But he'll have to see whether he can keep his place in the squad after Callum Wilson is signed from Bournemouth. That is about it from me. Not the end of the transfer window quite yet. We'll have deadline day next episode. I'll also show you the table next episode. If you have enjoyed this video though, feel free to hit the likes button. Subscribe if you're new around here as well, and comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.